winners in front of the boss. From the decks to the docks, Steve Aoki's team has done it. Hello and welcome to the UAM E1 World Championship presented by PIF. The stage is set for round 2 as 9 teams prepare to make waves here at the Visit Qatar E1 Doha GP, and we are at the beautiful Pearl Island. The scene is nothing short of spectacular. A dazzling venue for an electric battle on the water. All 9 teams are chasing one dream: to be crowned 2025 champions of the water. After a shock podium lockout in Jeddah, the question is, can anyone stop Team Aoki, Team Rafa, or even Team Blue Rising?
Blown away. My heart rate is going crazy. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Yeah, let's go, vamos!
Tom, as always, super fast. He is unbeatable, to be honest.
Smiles now knowing that I'm going to the final.
Extremely proud. She dug it in and she got it done when she needed to.
It's been nothing but amazing, you know, whatever results we got for this end, it's the team, and they've been running behind me the whole time, finding everything that I keep forgetting all over the place, and they've been an amazing team, and without them we wouldn't be here.
I'm super happy for this. After a difficult last year, whew, we nailed it. The weekend was crazy.
We knew from the start we're from the top, and we actually proved it.
Let's go!
I'd say that's the best win of my career so far, winning here in Saudi. I love it.
This was an amazing feeling, and I missed it. I missed it. I missed it.
We always say now, be aware of a dragon, buddy, huh?
Beware of the dragon, baby. Yes.
So Team Aoki making waves in Jeddah. They are through already to the final here in Doha, but the sport of E1 also is providing some great action for water sport. Let's hear down from the president of the UAM, Rafael Leculi, is down there with Alex Halger.
Raffaele, thank you for speaking to us. What are your impressions of this iconic place, the Pearl, here in Doha, Qatar?
Well, I think the place speaks for itself. It's a great place. The hospitality has been so warm that all the teams, the racers, and all our key stakeholders, they are so happy about being here in Doha, Qatar.
What can you tell us about the growth of E1 as an innovation lab and catalyst of change across the UIM ecosystem?
Well, I can only tell you good things. I think, as you mentioned, this is a real catalyst for innovative solutions, new technologies, and we are trying to get the best of the sailing, think about the foils, the best of the nautical sector, the hulls, and things about also the automotive, the batteries, and all the rest that is leading edge technology. So I think we are really trying to get the best of the best from multi-sectors, and we would like to be really the pinnacle discipline in terms of sustainability and affordability.
And just how important is the global expansion of E1, and what can you tell us about your partnerships?
Well, the E1 UIM E1 World Championship is the first ever full electric World Championship, and we are actually thinking that partnership is a key element of what we are doing. We are partnering with local authorities. I think the visit Qatar has been a great host here together with UDC, but also allow me to say that we are very happy with the partnership of E1. And as an institution, I think this is a great achievement because it was something that we had to work on, we had to build on. And today we are very happy to deliver this amazing show, which is entertaining, which is adrenaline fuel, spectacle, and certainly it's what is we believe to be a great sustainable sport.
It certainly is, Raffaele. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the afternoon of racing we have ahead of us.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
Great to hear that message from the president of the UAM, Raffaele Cooley, there on the waterside over this spectacular location that we've got here in Qatar. So this is where we're at. We're about to see the race off. As you can see, Team Rafa will be in pole position. They were the fastest during qualifying, but usurped by Team Brady, the reigning world champions, who head straight through to the finals later on this afternoon. They are joined by the winners of the opening round, the championship leaders, Aoki Racing. So some big guns already in the final. First up, we are going to have a race off between 5 race birds to decide the final 3 boats in that final. It's all going to be key at the start to get it going. Team Rafa fastest, yes, then it'll be Chris Lasaraga who'll be inside the race bird for this next 6-lap race that we've got coming up here. See all the boats still back in the launch zone. There is Sarah Mizier, who I have to say I am being so impressed. She took the podium for Blue Rising, their first podium in the opening round in Jeddah, just having a little dance on the pontoon there, ready to get going for her race. But she's already shown, however innocent she may look, she is so aggressive on the water. She showed us earlier today with that move when she claimed position from Lucas Ordóñez in the group stages.
She has an amazing racing instinct, considering she's never been in a boat before. She said it's her first time. She comes from the world of equestrian and horse riding, so she's used to flying, as they say, on a horse. But yes, she just takes control of the race, and she's just like a fearless competitor.
Absolutely, she is aggressive. There's Cristina Lasaraga. Have to say, if she can get the start right, there's no one quicker on the course this weekend.
She is super fast. She just holds her lines beautifully, and she just gets the boat flying very, very smooth. She never seems to sort of have an unstable moment.
Former jet ski champion herself, European champion in 2019. She was a runner-up in 2021 in the World Championship. Let's head to someone who's not off the water. His past experience, rallycross champion Timmy Hansen in Team Brazil's boat. Now, he won his group race earlier, but unfortunately he starts this race off from the outside lane. How does that change things? Bear in mind he had the pole position and used that to his advantage earlier.
Well, as we've seen so many times on this particular course in Doha, the outside lane is not easy. You have to take quite a wide corner to get your line and your run up to the start, which is then very short. So he's got a job on his hand.
It's the Team Drogba race bird with Olympic medalist Micah Wilkinson, the Kiwi, in the hot seat now. He'll be lining up in the middle of the field. If he can get the start right, he's shown already today as with the wherewithal to mix it, even without
jumping, right?
a Ragan sail. What would you call it yesterday?
Oh, am I allowed to say
Well,
that?
of course you are. He's from the sailing world, though, isn't he? Compared to
from the
powered-
rag and stick world.
Rag and stick, that was it.
And I think he's doing amazing. I
Of
mean,
course he is.
considering he's our newest pilot on the grid, and he is really proving to battle with the best of them.
Rookie performance this weekend made it for him. Lucas Ordóñez is experienced in the world of E1. He won in front of Will Smith back in Lake Como. And I have to say, Lucas is an aggressive character, but he's good off starts. And as we've said, that could be a key part, couldn't it, of the action that we've got coming.
Well, we've said it all over this weekend. The start is always crucial wherever you are in the world. But in this particular race course in Doha, it does seem to be very important. Sarah's getting very focused there, just calming.
Yeah, we're hearing of another delay actually. We're given a short delay for the start of the race, but another one. Our race clock currently says 15 minutes to the start of the race, and with Sarah being sat inside the boat there, I just wonder in terms of the temperatures down inside the cockpit.
If there is a 15-minute delay, they will be getting Sarah back out of that. You do not want to be sat in that close, tight, black box in what are we up to? 28 degrees C?
And it feels hotter when the sun is bearing down on you in Qatar. She seems to be going through the moment. She seems comfortable enough down there, but is sat inside the cockpit. You can see they've got the reflectors along the front of that cockpit to try and keep some of the heat out of the boat.
Yes, I must admit, I always wanted to get into my cockpit early, get my harness on, get everything nice and settled. There's nothing worse than being rushed to your start line. You have to be so in the zone, so in control, and your brain needs to be calm.
So as we look inside the Team Rafa boat with Cristina Lasaraga, her compatriot, she'll be racing for Westbrook Racing, Lucas Ordóñez, on the dockside with Alex.
Lucas, slight delay to the start of this race. Take us into your headspace. What are you thinking about at this current moment?
Well, yeah, we have another issue, so that's why we causing the delay, because we have another issue. So it's been a crazy weekend for us, but yeah, we're trying hard. Sarah did a great race before, which we gained one position for the start. We started in lane 4, and I'll have to take a risk to try to get into the top 3, which means we go into the final. Only the top 3 in this race go through to the final. If not, we go to the to the place race. So I will take I will try to do the same start as I've been doing in the previous races, and fingers crossed for that.
Can you tell us what the issue is and if it's getting fixed?
No, not really. We've been Westbrook Racing. All the Seabird guys have been working really, really hard these last 2 days, also in Jeddah, but we're still facing these issues. We have to come back to Europe for this 3 months break, and we will have to work on the race bird properly to find the issue. But yeah, we found some pace in these runs. Today the race bird felt really easier to handle, like in Lake Como, like in the past for us. But yeah, we've been struggling this season, but I'm gonna try my best, as I did in the morning. I got the best start in my race, then I got a penalty somehow. We don't understand why, but yeah, I will try my best to do the same start.
How much does it motivate you having Will Smith watching on, and have you spoken to him yet?
Yeah, he came here to say hi. He's too cool. He's just the best boss as ever. No, he's been supporting us. He gave us a lot of luck in Lake Como, and hopefully here we can do a good result for him. Still a long way to go, but yeah, it's great to have him here. I appreciate it, because last night he was in Miami. He must be tired, but really appreciate he's here in Doha.
It is very warm today. Can you give us a bit of insight into just how hot it is inside that cockpit? What does it feel like?
Well, look at me now. I'm boiling. Look at my. It's. I would prefer to be in swim dress, but yeah, it's really, really hot inside. But yeah, you just concentrate on doing the 100% job, and it's our job. We are ready for that. We train for that, and hopefully I can mentally be prepared for a good start and have a top 3.
Okay, we'll fan you down. We'll keep you cool, Lucas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
guys.
luck.
Thank you.
Alex with some work to do then. She's offering to keep Lucas cool with a bit of fanning. He looks like he's ready to get in the boat. Hopefully all will be okay for that Westbrook Racing machine. I mean, they are state-of-the-art technology. They're right at the pinnacle, at the forefront of technology, this all-electric powerboat racing series. And so it's normal every now and then there's the odd gremlin. You see on the left-hand side the umbrella over the top of Cristina Lasaraga. On the right, Sarah Mizic preferring the reflectors on her cockpit in the dark.
Of course, as you say, it's the state-of-the-art technology, and this is only our 2nd season, so I think everybody is still learning. You know, they're learning the technology, they're learning how to deal with the gremlins.
And push it on every single week, you know, from year 1 to year 2 already we've seen the pace and everything get that much closer. And so, you know, everything is being pushed to its absolute limits all the time. There's Lucas Ordóñez inside the Westbrook Racing boat, just fixing him in. So you were saying before about everything he's got. He's saying how hot he is. He's got his overalls. He'll have a fire suit on in there.
So he'll have probably, obviously, a layer of t-shirt, sweat shirt underneath. Then he's got his full fireproof overalls. Then he's got a full life vest going from literally shoulders to sort of mid-thigh, which is obviously very thick with padding in. On top of that, he's got a 5-point harness, a hands device and a crash helmet and gloves. I mean, you might as well be dressed up to go skiing, and he's in a hot cockpit.
We see more being plugged in as well, because obviously important the communication from inside the cockpit then up with mission control.
Well, as we've said, this is not all about just the pilot in the E1 Racebird. It's very much mission control, your team talking to you, telling you who is on the inside, who is on the outside, give them space, seconds down to the start line. They will be talking to him all the way around.
He's got, you see that rather rudimentary fan system down. It looks like a Henry Hoover, doesn't it? Down there, working in reverse to keep him cool down in the cockpit.
You said last time it looks like he's cleaning the cockpit with his Hoover.
But so important to keep you cool. I'll tell you what, Lucas, when he was speaking to Alex there, he's a cool customer, isn't he? He doesn't look like anything would faze him. I did like his, shall we say jibe? I don't know, but put a racer in front of a microphone and ask them about their penalties, and instantly they always have that little bristle, don't they? And he wants to make clear, oh, we don't understand why we got a penalty earlier on.
Yes, I'm afraid the race director thinks differently, Lucas. But what I do like about the E1 race directors, the UIM officials, they are holding their ground on the rules. The rules are there, and if you push it very slightly, they're not going to let you, and they're going to come down on you with the hammer, which is good to see.
Sarah Mizia down inside the Team Blue Rising cockpit. Remember, it's Virat Kohli who is the owner of that Blue Rising team. Busy himself at the moment. India taking part in the Champions Trophy. They're playing Pakistan over in Dubai. I've got a feeling that might be a tasty encounter. So there'll be a few eyes on that tomorrow, but a few eyes today perhaps from there to here. This is Mission Control that you mentioned before. These are all the teams. They've got their own little setup there. And yeah, thank you, a little away from everyone in there. But, you know, lots of discussions about strategy already going on.
Yes, I think we've got some people missing here because they're probably out on the docks with the teams. But yes, these are your main coach performance, guys. Your team coach performance.
Let's have a look at what the pilots will have to undertake. So the start, they have to nail that just as the clock ticks to 0. Long sequence of right-handers that challenges them. And this is where we get onto the course proper now.
Yeah, as you can see, this is the standard lap they're taking. So most of them are left-hand turns, which is not easy with a standard prop that goes the right way. 2 right-handers coming in round to the last bit of the standard lap.
A short lap and long lap, you have to take on one of these laps in the race, and then they finish back in front of the Corinthia Yacht Club here inside the Pearl Island, an absolutely dazzling location here in Doha. Sun glistening on the top of the water here. Looks great, doesn't it? It looks pristine, it looks perfect. However, once we get racing and they chop it up and it all starts bouncing back, that just creates another level of difficulty for these E1 pilots. Just over 5 minutes to go to the start of this race-off. A reminder about the race-off, top 3 from the race-off will go through into our final. Bottom 2 head into our place race to join. Already we're seeing in there Team Alula, who are already in the place race, and Team Miami. Let's hope that Team Miami are able to get their Racebird out there again, because it's obviously a problem for them in their group stage race, for Anna Glennon, unfortunately. So whoever finishes 4th and 5th go into that place race, and the top 3 head through to the finals. The first final of the afternoon will decide the lane choice for the ultimate final of the day, and that's where the points will be handed out. Between that and the place race will be decided our 1st to 9th places. So the first boats starting to head out now to the milling area. Just see Team Drogba, Micah Wilkinson, Olympic bronze medalist for New Zealand. He's in the hot seat for Didier Drogba, the legendary Champions League football winner. Team Brazil will be on the outside. Timmy Hansen, you can see behind in the yellow and green. Rallycross champion himself. Won his group race earlier, but unfortunately will be on the outside here for the race off. But as we've seen already, you get your start right and you can change the whole course of your weekend, and that's what the thought will be for Timmy Hansen, and I'm sure Marcelo Claure watching on. Now there are the Westbrook Racing Mission Control.
That the guy on the left there is Steve Curtis, who is actually a 8 times world champion powerboat racer himself. So they've got a very, very experienced performance coach there.
And good to see that the Westbrook Racing is going to be out there. So Will Smith, wherever his vantage point is for this race, at least they're in it, and that's the main thing. Any issues they have, hopefully, have been sorted. All 5 boats on the water then. The race birds are ready to fly as we get ready for our race off here at the Visit Qatar E1 Doha GP. Team Rafa with Cristina Lasaraga in pole on the inside lane. Sarah Mizir for Team Blue Rising and Virat Kohli in second. Didier Drogba's Michael Wilkinson in lane 3. For Will Smith and Westbrook, Lucas Ordóñez. And on the outside, Team Brazil and Timmy Hansen. He's been in great form this weekend, has the Swede. There's every chance, if he gets the start right, that he can find a spot in the finals for Team Brazil. Don't forget, they picked up 2 points. They were second at the end of qualifying. So much is going to be about the start. Lucas Ordóñez has been a great starter. He's had a penalty, though, for a start earlier on in the day. He mustn't transgress the limits from lane 4 on this occasion. Will Smith in attendance for Westbrook Racing. How can Lucas perform out in the water despite a few technical gremlins? Michael Wilkinson. First weekend of E1 for Micah. Already he's shown he's got the pace. So Didier Drogba's squad hopeful that he can find a spot in the finals later on. They currently sit last in the championship, so all points be very welcome for Didier Drogba and co. Sarah Mizir has already put on a show, hasn't she, early on in the group stage race, and now she's got to do it all over again in this race off. She picked up a podium at the opening round in Jeddah in her debut and has backed it up once more. She'll start from lane 2 alongside the pole position sitters, and the fastest race bird of the weekend, Chris Lasaraga and Team Rafa. Rafael Nadal will be hoping for an ace performance from Chris from that inside line. But even though you've got it, as Tom Schaap found out earlier, if you don't get to the first racing smart mark first, you can easily lose position. Top 3 will go through to the final to join the world champions Team Brady and championship leaders Team Aoki, and this is the course they'll have to take on. Shelley?
Yep, we've got a standard lap, which is blue, and then we've got a short lap and a long lap. Opposite ends of the course, which makes it quite tricky for strategic plans.
But what we found most of all is that first long right-hander is perhaps the key part of the race.
Absolutely, that first line into your first red smart mark is crucial.
Here we go then, 10 seconds to go, and it is throttle on. The race birds are flying as we get ready for the race off here. The clock ticks down, you want to cross the line just as it ticks to 0. Here we go, Westbrook Racing, it looks like. Lucas Ordonez got away well. Team Rafa on the inside. They've all got to give each other room, but they all seem to have made an excellent start here. Oh, up and down for Michael Wilkinson and Team Drogba, and flying for Christina Lasaraga on the inside, but she's got that inside line. Team Drogba just being squeezed ever so slightly by Lucas Ordonez, and Michael Wilkinson is coming back in second. Even Timmy Hansen around the outside. This is the best start we've seen from everyone in the early stages of this race. Michael Wilkinson, is he going to hang on to second place after that excellent start? I think he is for Team Drogba. Sarah Mizir has dropped back, however, unfortunately, for Team Blue Rising. It's Chris Lasaraga for Team Rafa who are leading the way, and Didier Drogba's Michael Wilkinson in his debut up to second, and Sarah Mizir has recovered. Oh, this must have been a collision. We've seen Timmy Hansen has hit one of the smart marks out on the course. Well, I wonder if that's from, it's gone to shut-off mode, hasn't it? He just sat in the water.
Oh no, yeah, does that mean we're going to get a yellow flag or even a red flag?
Red flag, we've got a full red flag. Timmy Hansen looks forlorn and distraught, but he'll know they've got a red flag now, so a chance to go again.
Well, yes, so if the red flag, basically they'll go back to a start, but it will be in the finishing position of where they were when this incident happened. So hopefully Chris Lasaraga can stay in the lead.
Yeah, I just wonder if they have, because they haven't completed a lap yet. I wonder. That'll be one of those question marks, won't it? So we're going to see. There was a protest off the start from Team Drogba, is what I was hearing. So it looks like we'll have to go again, but unfortunately, Timmy Hansen and the Team Brazil Racebird are wrapped up with a smart mark at the moment.
Yes, now obviously the smart marks have no chains or anchors on them. That's what makes them so unique. They are literally floating on the water, moved by GPS. So what have we got here? We seem to have something stuck under the wing. I think it looks like a flotation buoy is actually stuck under the wing of Brazil. Wow,
this is going to be
drama.
interesting to see, yeah, drama in this race-off. A place in the final up for grabs. I tell you what, everyone seemed to nail the start, didn't they? They were all very level off it.
Well, as you said, Gavin, the start was beautiful. It was clean, it was tidy. Everyone had their own space and their own line. And it was neck and neck. It was literally fighting for position. I am interested now to see whether they will restart in the position they were, but as they didn't do a lap, will it be a complete restart from the bottom of the grid again? I think we may go back for a full restart.
Tom Schaap and Marit Stromoy both looking closely on. In the event of the red flag, the race director has to choose who's initiated this red flag, so that's one thing. But we'll just have to see what's going to happen with the restart here now. Canopy's open for Timmy Hansen. Well, this sets us all back, doesn't it?
We didn't actually see what happened to Timmy and the smart mark.
We know that everyone behind was jockeying for a kind of position to get, hit that on the inside. The fact that it's on his right wing, let's have a look. This is the start again. So they all crossed the line, I think fair in terms of time. Really good launch there from Team Drogba in lane 3. He got away well, did Michael Wilkinson. As we round the next buoy, yeah, everyone looks like they're holding their lane to me in that occasion. I think that's where Michael Wilkinson is perhaps saying, or Team Drogba suggesting that they were impeded. Now we can see Team Brazil is on the near side and Timmy Hansen.
And everything seems to be going smoothly at this point. Here, it's coming up here. Let's see what happens.
Let's have a look at Timmy Hansen. He's unsighted. I have to say, there is a lot of wash and wake. Yeah, he just was completely unsighted.
He just didn't see it in the basically the wash from the boat in front, as I've explained before, washing machine moment. Yeah, look, complete. Yeah. That is what I was describing. His visibility is completely gone, and yes, there he goes. He veers to the left slightly, and unfortunately there was a smart mark right there.
Well, he gets caught, doesn't he, almost in the turbulent water of the Racebird in front of him, and as he drops into it, you see the Westbrook Racing Racebird is in front of him, and it just sets him completely off course.
Yeah, we actually call that a slight hook in powerboat racing, where basically the boat is just, it's in so much turbulent water, it just steers itself off to the left, and unfortunately, there's your washing machine moment.
What is he supposed to see?
Or car wash. It's like being in a car wash.
Absolutely. I mean, for 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds there, he is blind.
That's what racing is all about. You are often in a complete car wash, and you just need to drive through it. And look, we even had water coming in through the canopy there. That's how much spray he was thrown into from Westbrook. It wasn't Westbrook's fault. They were taking a good racing line. Whether they're going to say that they didn't give Team Brazil enough room, I don't know.
I think there was enough. There was a boat length or more between them, wasn't there? I don't think there's anything on that respect. Everyone's heading back to the milling area. Still, you can see out in the far part of the marina that Team Brazil are still languishing.
So it'll be very interesting to see whether we do a line-up start where we may even have a boat in front to actually start them with a yellow flag and drop to a green flag, or they will do a full grid start again up to the imaginary start line.
We're in the milling area anyway.
So we have taken out one of our smart marks, which are actually a state-of-the-art regatta buoys. They are really truly unique, and especially being used in the powerboat racing world. E1 are the first to take it on. They are a push of a button to make the process more efficient, faster and better. They literally controlling the smart marks by GPS. They put the desired position in, they enter it via a web-based application, and the buoy moves to the place completely independently.
Well,
and then they bring them in at night.
Well, hopefully they can bring it away from the Team Brazil boat at the moment.
Yeah, I think that's going to take more than a GPS at the moment, Gav. I think that's going to take a little bit of power.
Yeah, well, let's.
Oh no, it's still attached. They seriously can't get
yeah,
it.
it's properly attached, isn't it, to the wing and to the fore. While we're looking at this, Shelley, let's. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's have a listen to the CEO and one of the founders of the E1 series, Roddy Basso, talking us through the strategy for E1 this year with all the new regulations in place.
For the E1 series, is the first time in Qatar. We are here in Doha, where tradition and innovation are authentically embraced with a perfect balance. E1 started by mixing the knowledge coming from sailing, powerboarding and motorsport. What I've done is taking the best and the state-of-the-art of electronics and electric propulsion from motor racing, the foils that of course have been revamped by America's Cup, and of course powerboarding for all the fluid dynamics, the structural analysis of a race boat. For this season we have been working on the combination of electronics and fluid dynamics in order to make the boat more stable and more performing. We have allowed the pilot to use the boost for 5, 10, 15 or 20 seconds. So you have more option for the race strategy in order to make an unpredictable show. Now, technology companies, they want to use our sport platform to test this technology, learn and build a solution. I'm incredibly proud of having built an international platform that is very much loved, and I particularly felt it when I arrived here in Doha, this lifestyle that is nearby the waters, that we try to promote and protect. The future is bright.
If you are just joining us, then Roddy Basso talking us through the aims of E1 series in its second season. Already we've had some drama, we've had some excitement. We've also had a smart mark taken out by Timmy Hansen in the Team Brazil Racebird. He tried to get out, he tried to unhook it himself, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think they've got the crane out ready to go, and it could be the end of racing, unfortunately, for Team Brazil. And having been second in qualifying yesterday, and actually having made a decent enough start to that race, this will be a frustrating end to them.
Timmy will be devastated. Of course, the smart mark is actually controlled by 2 electric motors, which autonomously allows it to go into position. I'm wondering if it's the actual motor that's got caught under the wing there.
Hard to see, isn't it, from here? But as he's dragged back, remember, we still have a race off to undergo. I wonder if they'll bring him back to the crane, or he might be able to come back to the launch zone. I'm sure they'll have a spare smart mark somewhere they can send out there to form the course again. It's just being dragged back as things stand.
Let's just hope there's no damage to the wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Still are 4 boats remaining in this race, are in the milling area. And again, temperatures in the cockpit thing, temperatures for the electric motors, also all these sorts of things are things you've just got to take into account.
The batteries are slowly going down. Westbrook are doing very well there. They're actually sat stationary in the water. I think that's what I would do. I'd be wanting to preserve my battery, which is obviously a key point for an electric boat series. But yes, you can see Lucas there. He is sweating. We've got to be up to mid-30s, late 30s in the cockpit there, degrees centigrade.
What we're hearing, it's part of the inflatable ring. It's part of the smart mark that has got caught inside the wing of the Team Brazil Racebird. So if they can unhook it, you'd hope that they might be able to get going again, but we'll just have to wait and see. There you can see. Do you know what? Sometimes a big stick is all you need to try and unhook it, and hopefully that is what can be done here.
Yeah, you can see at this angle, it's properly wedged under the wing. Timmy did a good job there. He absolutely got it stuck under the boat, but as we've said, they are completely autonomous. They've got no chains on them, nothing ruining the surface, the bottom of the water.
Well, that's part of the environmental credentials, isn't it? Something Rudi Basso there touched on. But the idea is you've not got anchors, you've not got things dragging along our precious coral reefs and that kind of thing, or damaging the floor.
But it's also good for the Racebird because it hopefully won't have done any damage, because there's nothing metal or there. So it's good all round for everybody. You cannot beat these smart marks.
So Timmy Hansen is out of Team Brazil's Racebird. I wonder whether that might be the end of their racing. I know in the rules, in a red flag situation, it's up to the race director. Whoever calls the red flag, in theory, is given a DNF. That's part of the rules, but we haven't had anything confirmed on our timing screen, so I just don't want to get ahead of myself just yet.
No, don't get ahead of yourself just yet. Let's wait to see. I'm sure the race directors and mission control are all in conversation at the moment, trying to sort this situation out. This is racing. This is what happens. It's never over. We've got Brazil under the crane there.
Yeah, so that's where Timmy just got out the boat. Let's have it here from his co-pilot, Marit Stromoy, down with Alex.
Marit, it's certainly not what you wanted to happen. Can you tell us a bit more about the current situation?
Yeah, it looked like he had a good start. Tim had a good start from the outside, and then he tried to pass on the back side of all the 4 in front of him, and he got completely blinded by the spray and hit a turn buoy, and it's really stuck on the boat. So it's still, like 10 minutes later, is still on the boat. He had some damage to his right foil. And for us now is try to get the boat up, change that foil, and go in for the placement race.
What are the teams saying? Are they hopeful they can make that happen?
Well, at the moment the boat is in the crane, so we'll just have to wait for the next 2-3 minutes and see what we can do.
Okay, thank you for your time. Thanks, Marit. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So it looks like straight to the place race, unfortunately, for Team Brazil, and that is a picture of frustration, isn't it, after Timmy Hansen secured, well, after Marit herself actually secured that second place. He was fast in qualifying time trials as well. They were second quickest there on their combined times. Marit took second in her Team Brazil. Let's not forget where we are. We're at the second round of the championship. And of course, at the opening round back in Saudi Arabia a month ago in Jeddah, it was Aoki Racing, Steve Aoki's squad, who ended on top, and they are currently the championship leaders.
What it feels to be on top of the table? Great.
It felt really amazing winning in Jeddah, not only because we won and we're leading the championship, but because I won among my people and in my country, so it has that different of amazing feeling.
Coming to this race, yeah, we won a race, but after Jeddah, everything started from zero. It's the mentality I want to have. You know, everyone here wants to win. Everyone is competitive.
We're competing against at least 3 world F1 boat champions, so the competition is high.
We're just the new guys who arrived to that spot. We won the first race. That doesn't mean, you know, that we are winners yet.
Winning in Qatar would mean a lot. Inshallah, we'll make it happen, inshallah. And the 22nd of Feb is Saudi Founding Day. And I would love to raise the Saudi flag on a podium. But we never know what's going to happen. But what I promise is we're going to give our all and best and see where it takes us.
The championship leaders are already through into the final. Despite being 6th fastest in qualifying, they did the job to get through. And conversely, Team Brazil 2nd fastest in qualifying, and yet they won't be taking part in this race-off after having hit one of the smart marks. Team Brazil are into the place race, so we'll have 4 race birds out there, just milling around at the moment, getting ready for what will now be a 5-lap race, so a lap taken off it, which you can understand. Still have to do a short lap, still have to do a long lap, but they'll have to go again, and they will be in their original position. So it'll be Team Rafa on the inside with Cristina Lasaraga. Sarah Mizir for Team Blue Rising, there she is. She knows she's going to have to fight again. She did fight already, didn't she, in that first bit of the race that we've seen. Micah Wilkinson for Team Drogba in lane 3, and Lucas Ordóñez for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing with Will Smith watching on from the Ocean Club today. They are going to be in 4th on the outside. They've finally got the smart mark out. Well, that's good news, isn't it? Is it going to be heading back to its position now on the course?
Yes, hopefully it will be.
It needs writing, first
yes,
of all.
We just need to stand him up first.
2 minutes to the start of the race. I hope they've been able to replace that mark as well, because that actually is one of our marks. Still is a little bit of inflatable in there, isn't there? That's the bit that probably would be writing that smart mark. So there you can see the inflatable still in the wing of Team Brazil's race bird.
Yes, and Timmy is stood on the deck there. The inflatable dock, just wishing and willing that to come out so that he can go racing, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like they're actually getting the crane ready.
Yeah, he's saying, I think what he's trying to say is that they can just lift the boat ever so slightly, then it would come out straight away. So he was holding out hope there'd be some chance, but yeah, I don't think they're going to make the start here.
That's a shame. You would hope that they could actually sort of maybe pierce the smart mark and let out the air to get it out, but you know, these smart marks are costly. They probably don't want to damage it even more than it is.
We've had another delay, we're being told, so we were getting the clock ticking down, but unfortunately just another delay. Our information is, all we're telling you is that the information is what we're getting from our timing screen, so we're back up to 4 minutes to a new race start. Everyone was starting to line up. You could see them all in the milling area. We're just starting to get into their positions.
Which is awful, because your adrenaline starts pumping, your temperature's up sky high, and your adrenaline starts to go, and you think this is it, and no, a delay again. It's excruciating, this point. I really feel for those pilots.
We just saw Jeff Saltman there for Team Brazil. Let's hear from Team Miami, who had their own issues earlier. Anna Glennons with Alex.
Anna Anna, yes, Team Miami with their own issues today. Can you tell us about what happened in your race and whether you've managed to fix the issue?
Yeah, you know, the boat's been giving us a little trouble this weekend, and to be honest, we kind of thought it was us, and I think unfortunately I was the one that found the problem in the last race. You know, early on in the race, the boat was kind of giving me some trouble in some of the corners, and then towards the end of the race, I'm sure you guys saw, I was in one of the corners and the foil just completely let go. I almost lost control of the boat, but managed to steer out of it, and then that was that. It was a really disappointing end to that race. I never want to be the person to bring the boat back broken, but I don't think there was anything I could have done. The good news is the team with Blackthorn, they're incredible. They had it all swapped out, and now it's Eric's turn to hopefully work a miracle. And I don't know, I'm kind of wondering if some of the speed we lost yesterday might have been because this moment was coming.
Just how difficult was it to regain control of the boat? Can you talk us through that moment from your perspective?
Yeah, you know, that was my first time experiencing that feeling. It was very sudden, it was pretty violent, but I just drove out of it. You know, the jet ski racing, things like that happen, so as soon as it happened, I just tried to steer out of it. Unfortunately, there was no limping it to the finish line in that scenario. It was pretty much dead in the water, so it is what it is, but Team Miami is here to fight, and that's what we'll do.
What's your approach now? You won the place race in Jeddah, hopefully you can do the same.
I mean, when Eric Stark gets in the boat, anything can happen. So I'm looking forward to handing the wheel over to him and seeing what we can do.
Thanks, Anna. Good luck. All the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, good of Anna to front up to us there, but obviously an issue with the rear foil for Team Miami. So Mark Anthony's team, unfortunately, are going to be in the place race. But as Alex quite rightly mentioned, they did so well in that place race back in Jeddah. They picked up an important 13 points for the championship. Could do the same again. There's Tom Schaap for Team Rafa. Watching on, nervous moments for him because obviously his teammate Chris is inside the race bird, but nothing he can do from on the shore. And Marit Stromo meanwhile, there is Team Brazil's race bird out of the water. There you get a good view actually of that rear foil that we were just talking about there with Anna Glennon and Team Miami.
That was a great view of the race bird and just shows the sort of, you know, the dynamics of the boat. It's so slick.
They're starting to line up now, aren't they? A minute to go before the start. I just love how cautious and certain Lucas Ordonez is being. He's getting himself on the outside of the course. I'm here now. Everyone else can take their position inside me, and they're all starting to line up. So we have got a starting grid. It says 5, but 4 because Team Brazil's boat we've just seen is on the crane and in the air, but thankfully with no smart marks wedged underneath it. That brought an early end to the first go at this, but we will go again with Team Rafa on the inside in lane 1 with Chris Lasaraga. Blue Rising, Virat Kohli squad with Sarah Mizir in the cockpit. Team Drogba have Micah Wilkinson in their race bird, and Westbrook there, that red race bird that you can see on the right hand side of your screen. Lucas Ordonez is in there. We're starting to go. 10 seconds countdown is on. Sarah Mizir starting to go. Chris Lasaraga a little bit more circumspect. 3, 2, 1. Are they going to get across in time? Yes, they are. But here comes Chris Lasaraga on the inside of Sarah Mizir now. From the outside, Lucas Ordonez. Micah Wilkinson is there in a third lane. As Sarah Mizir is coming through, and is she ever going to take this right-hander? Yes, she does. But she's just making sure that she gives a little bit of room on the inside. And I tell you what, in doing so, she's held on beautifully to her second place and might even challenge Chris Lasaraga because she's on the boost.
That was so smooth. Everyone kept their lane and everyone stayed in their clean water, which allowed the race birds to just excel through. Right,
let's hope that everyone can get through this smart mark now. That was the one that was taken. Oh, huge moment for Chris Lasaraga in Team Rafa's boat, and somehow hangs on to it, and somehow that race bird keeps going.
She grabbed that back and got it back onto the foils and flew that beautifully.
Wow, a nervous moment. Sarah Mizir herself is having a bit of a problem. She was on the boost, unfortunately, and that's allowed Micah Wilkinson for Team Drogba to come through. She was forced to roll out of it, and that has allowed the Team Drogba boat to come through on the inside. So now we're going to see tactics come into play. Team Rafa leading with Chris Lasaraga. Sarah Mizir on the outside. We've seen her do one move already here earlier this weekend. She's going to do it again, not for the second time. Has she gone the wrong side of the mark? I'm sure I saw the smart mark on the left-hand side side, and that could mean a penalty for missing the smart mark there for Sarah Mizier and Team Blue Rising.
They were foil to foil there. Did she not see it in the bad visibility? I don't know. Or did she have no room to go for it?
Right, short lap being taken by Team Drogba and Team Rafa, not from Blue Rising though. Sarah Mizier, you can see bottom of your screen, she does the normal course. Everyone else has gone for the short lap, so that puts Blue Rising, Virat Kohli's team, to the back of the field. It's Chris Lasaraga for Team Rafa out front. Remember, the top three will go through into the final. This is Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. As it stands, Lucas Ordóñez could be sealing them a spot in the final, but there's a long way to go in this race. 5 laps it's been reduced to after our early red flag, and it's Team Rafa leading from Team Drogba in second. Michael Wilkinson did so well, didn't he, to take advantage of Sarah Mizier's misfortune as he went into second. And Sarah, again, she's going to go and do the long lap now.
That is a good move by Sarah. She's put herself into lovely clean water. She's got the long lap out the way. That is a great strategic move. Let's hope it brings her back up later. She's got the short lap in her pocket.
We are riding on board now with Chris Lasaraga. Oh, actually, with Team Blue Rising, my apologies. It's with Sarah Mizier, having done that long lap, was on the boost, and she's on it again now. I just wonder whether she missed this mark earlier on when we saw her doing battle with Michael Wilkinson in the Team Drogba Racebird. For the time being, she's going to stick to the regular course. Out front, Chris Lasaraga is leading. Michael Wilkinson on the boost for Team Drogba. He's taken his short lap. Lucas Ordóñez behind for Westbrook Racing has also taken his short lap. Only ones to have done the long lap so far are Blue Rising.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody take the long lap now. If I was them, I would take some clean water out here, but no, they're not going for it. They're both going around. Not
Drogba, but I think Westbrook, yes. Lucas Ordóñez is doing it for Will Smith's team. This is going to be interesting in the merge though. We've already seen them get very close, he and Sarah Mizier. This is where they're going to merge. Look how close the edge of the dock is there.
Sarah Mizier is doing a lovely turn there, but oh, she just wasn't enough to get. Did she have any boost then? No,
she was on the boost through the corner. We have just been told there's a DQ come in for Team Blue Rising. Sarah Mizier did miss the mark. She passed on the inside of her mark, and unfortunately that's been given as a DQ. Not as a long lap, but as a DQ.
Wow, this race director is really throwing out the rule book at these pilots this weekend. A DQ, that's severe.
Once that's happened, I'm sure there'll be a counter protest from the team, but once that's happened, that's pretty much game over for Blue Rising. We did see it, didn't we, as she was going foil to foil, wing to wing with Michael Wilkinson in the Team Drogba Racebird. But unfortunately, that will mean that Team Blue Rising will go into the place race, and having looked like they've recovered things, having looked like they were, primed to get into the finals, unfortunately, they are going to be in the place race today, having scored a podium in Jeddah. They won't be getting one here today.
Christina is doing a sterling job there with a 27-second lead.
Michael Wilkinson for Team Drogba just did the long lap, and he has rejoined in second place ahead of Lucas Ordóñez. But crucially, what this means is, with Sarah Mizier's DQ, that those front 3 boats are through. They are going to be in the final. So, Will Smith is here, and there is a little bit of Hollywood magic being sprinkled here by Lucas Ordóñez, because somehow, despite all the problems, all the worries we've heard about, they've steered their way through into the finals.
Which is great. They're plagued with problems this weekend. The team have been working night and day to keep it going, which is absolutely fantastic. But you cannot take it away from Team Rafa, who have been dominant all weekend so far.
They have been, but as they go through into the first of those finals, they'll be lining up in the middle. They'll be in lane 3. That's what you get for winning the race off. So they'll be behind the Team Brady and Aoki racing boats that are already in the final. But with every chance, with a good start from Tom Schaap later on, that they will be moving up the order. They are almost completing this race now. Team Drogba in second. And they can see Lucas Ordóñez from Westbrook Racing in third. They're heading through to the final. 2 more races to come for these Racebirds. Chris Lasaraga, cool as ever, looks calm. all the chaos going on behind, but no doubt about your race winner. Here in the race-off, Team Rafa have done its gain. How many successes is that this weekend? Just the one where it didn't go, which put them into this race-off. And again, she leaps through the water on the run to the line.
They are certainly controlling this Doha GP.
Through the final couple of marks and to the line for Chris Lasaraga and Team Rafa. The cheers of Vamos again, I'm sure, will ring through the cockpit. A victory in the race-off. Second place for the debutant, Micah Wilkinson. A great performance for Team Drogba, puts them in lane 4 for the finals. And then Westbrook Racing in front of Will Smith are going to be taking a position in that final, which at one point didn't seem like it was going to happen. So Didier Drogba's squad, having been last in the opening round, are going to be in the finals and crucially will get a top 5 this weekend. And Westbrook Racing, for the Fresh Prince himself here this weekend, will be also joining them in that final.
Woo!
Oof.
Vámonos.
Vámonos, yes. Like a little pleasure ride around the local lake, that one. Christina Lasaraga. But she's everything that's been asked of her this weekend, she's delivered.
She is a fearless competitor, very experienced pilot here in the E1 World Championships. I love her style.
She wins the race off and heads through into the final. They get lane 3 for that first of our 2 finals. Didier Drogba's team, for Michael Wilkinson, the debutant, takes second place. He was strong in parts of that race when he passed Sarah Mizir. That was something to behold. So he took second, heading through to the final. Will Smith, Westbrook Racing in third. And they also go through to the finals, and it's place race, unfortunately, for Blue Rising and Team Brazil. This is where we're going to see, I think, Sarah Mizir's moment, going wing to wing, and that's where she went the wrong side of that yellow smart mark.
Did she have any space to go anywhere else, Gavin? Look, you can see she thinks the same.
I'd like to hear, I'm not sure we'd be able to broadcast it, unfortunately, what she was saying. Right, that's our race off done. We know our finalists for later on this afternoon. We know who's going to be in the place race. Already we've had 5 fantastic races. We've still got 3 more to come from the Visit Qatar E1 Doha GP here in Qatar.